Welcome back to Switch to Linux. Well, today we're going to talk about, is Windows 10 more popular? This is taken from an article from The Verge, and this was an example of really bad journalism, in my opinion. And it's the headline of this article simply reads, Windows 10 is now more popular than Windows 7. Now, popular is a point of desire. Popular is something that people like, people want. That's popular. Okay, Windows 10 has more users now than Windows 7 because Microsoft pulled Windows 7, crammed 10 down people's throats, and just sits there and goes, there's no other thing you can do. You want future upgrades, you got to pay us for it. Not only that, but they backported all the crap that made Windows 10 suck. And so we're going to look at this article, which is very bad journalism. Windows 10 is now more popular. No, Windows 10 has a higher user base than Windows 7. Acceptable title. More popular means people want it. If you take a cross-section of people, most people were happy with Windows 7, and given the option, if Windows 7 kept going this way, perpetual upgrades, and I could still go to the store and buy Windows 7, and Windows 10 came this way, and in its current state, and people had the consumer choice between 7 and 10, the vast majority of people would still pick 7. 7 is more popular. But finally, after 3 years, Windows 10 finally overtook Windows 7 in data use. So Verge, hire journalists who can actually put together better articles. I actually pull a lot of my articles from The Verge because of how stupid it is. So Microsoft finished 2018 as the world's most valuable company, but also passed an important milestone for Windows. The latest Windows 10 operating system is now the most popular desktop in the world. No! Go back to school. Learn what the word popular means. I would say Windows 7 is the most popular operating system in the world. Well, for desktop computers, I'll say. I think that more people probably have Android phones than that by far. So anyway, according to Net Applications, we'll jump over there in a moment, but Windows 10 held 39.2% of desktop market share in December compared to 36.9% in Windows 7. It's a statistic that's taken Microsoft 3.5 years to achieve and demonstrates just how popular Windows 7 has been since its release nearly 10 years ago. See, and this is the reason. If Windows 10 were more popular than Windows 7, it would not have taken 3 years to get here. What has happened is people's computers have died. Windows forced updates. Things broke where somebody had to push an update. A lot of factors occurred. Don't sit here and tell me it's more popular. Because popular implies desire. Forced Gestapo tactics implies we want to see stats. You know? It's the same thing like Apple. You know, Apple comes out with iOS 7, which was a UI nightmare. It looked like a unicorn got into their design application and took a dump all over the place. And then they're like, it's the most popular iOS application. Yes, because you push it to every device on the system without really a choice. That doesn't make it popular. That makes it Gestapo tactics to bring up the numbers so that you think that you do a good job. It's like WordPress and Gutenberg. Oh my lord, look at how many people are using it. Yes, because you forced everybody to use it. Look at your stats. Nobody wants it. Windows is like the same thing. All right, so this article, basically it just looks at the stats. Market share is a milestone, is an important one. It comes out just a year before Microsoft ends its extended support for Windows 7. So in other words, next year, and right about 1 year from now, Windows 7 will no longer have security updates, and so it will effectively be like a dead system. All right? And so that's something to keep in mind. Now, what I thought was fascinating is some of the comments. Particularly this first comment is quite hilarious, and we're going to spend some time debunking this. Mr. Uzzy says, outside of enterprise and compatibility issues, are there still any valid reasons to stick with Windows 7? Parentheses, the forced updates and the dubious privacy concerns aren't really valid reasons. I'm sorry, but they are the most valid reasons. Why are they the most valid reasons? Well, first let's look at this data collection. If you are unaware, if you have just basic telemetry turned on, this is what it collects. This is basic. Okay. I mean, Xbox stuff, the current user ID. So if you're logged in, you have your current user ID, various applications, the type of licensed authorized. So, you know, whatever you're using. So they know if you're using, you know, subscriptions, discs, whatever else. I mean, a lot of these things are absolutely identifiable information. So with this, Windows collects a lot of data. This is the basic telemetry. Now, I had somebody leave a comment on my channel just a couple days ago saying they went into their Microsoft account and downloaded all the things and said the things that it knew, there were even voice print recordings from Cortana, including just background conversations, a few things that he believed were movie clips, and just so much stuff. This is the basic data collection. I switched to Linux because of this, okay? Now, yes, some of this stuff is just basic system information, but still, it should always be my choice whether I send them any data at all. And this is the minimum setting you can turn data collection on. Why is this so important? Well, this is so important because of data breaches, all right? They are collecting this data. The vast majority of people still using Windows have no idea how much data is being collected. And data that is being collected, and by the way, since I've been scrolling, I am here. This is about maybe 15 or 20% of the way up the screen. This is how much stuff this is. Okay, here's a list of data breaches. So the 2018 ones, WordPress data breach, just kind of unknown. By the way, the botnet is still going. Under Armour, 150 million records were stolen. Typeform, an unknown amount due to poor security. Ticketfly, 26 million user points. Oh, this was a good one because this is a government medical database of 1.5 million user Reddits, an unknown amount of Reddit users, 100 million Quora users. I mean, look at this, guys. 92 million records from MyHeritage, 500 million records from Marriott. I am never staying at a hotel again. 50 million Facebook records, 9.4 million from Cathay Pacific Airways. Data hacks, leaks are all over the place, and it's way better to not have data out there. So it's best if our systems are not collecting it to begin with. I don't care about this, but we take your privacy seriously. I don't care if you take it seriously. I don't want you to have it. If you're really serious about taking my data seriously, you won't collect it because I don't want you to. All right. So this is just some companies. This is just 16 popular stores. If you've shopped at any of these 16 stores, your credit card data was probably stolen. Cheddar's Scratch Kitchen, Macy's, Adidas, Sears, Kmart, Delta, Best Buy, Saks Fifth Avenue, Lord & Taylor, Under Armour, Panera Bread, Forever 21, Forever 20, face it, you're 40, man. Sonic, Whole Foods, GameStop, Arby's. I mean, these are just data breaches this last year of 16 stores. Not to mention the health data, these are records of healthcare breaches, Phishing attacks. 2 phishing attacks in a Minnesota Department of Health Services breached 21,000 patient records. A CMS responds to data breach affecting 75,000 in federal ACA portal. 3 phishing hacks breached 20,000 patient records here. Guys, this is why I don't actually go to the doctors, because I don't want the doctor to be storing my information on a computer system. 3 Massachusetts hospitals fined nearly $1 million for HIPAA and OCR violations. I don't know what the OCR violation is. I know what a HIPAA violation is. Employee error exposed Blue Cross patient data for 3 months. 417,000 Augusta University Health patient records breached 1 year ago. Phishing attacks breached 38. Guys, this is why we don't want data collection, all right? This is why we don't want data collection. So this guy over here, oh, this isn't a really valid reason. Yes, it is. What are you, the world's stupidest idiot? I mean, really? I mean, I don't really mean offense, but yes, forced updates and privacy concerns. This is not dubious privacy concerns. This is a lot of data that's being collected. This is a lot of data that's being collected, and they're keeping it, and they're storing it, and they're putting it in their backup files, and unknown amounts of employees have access to this. This is not dubious privacy. No. And you know what? I read through several of these comments, not all of them. You know, there's a whole lot of sheep that don't understand this. Now, there are valid reasons you might need to keep a Windows system laying around. Most of us in Linux world, we have Windows thrown on a virtual machine. I mean, come on, I could click on this button right up here, click on this other button, and I'll have a Windows 10 machine running for us right now if I wanted to. If you're an avid gamer, sure, you probably have a Windows machine laying around. If you are in some type of field where you have to have certain software, I get it. But my argument is all personal computing stuff, your personal emails, your personal backup files, anything you do on a computer for yourself, your entertainment, all these things should be done on Linux. It's perfectly fine and perfectly stable for that, and it works out just well. All right. Now let's tackle his other one. These forced updates. Why is this a big deal? Well, if you have been under a bridge this year, or you're in this community and you don't follow Windows as much, if you go into the Windows security system and you click this button, check for updates, guess what? You've just opted yourself in to receive unstable beta updates for your computer. Raise your hand if you knew that. This is quite hilarious. And, you know, it's like, and I would do this a lot when I still had the Windows computer laying around because I needed it for helping clients and things. I found I just didn't need it for a while, so I got rid of the thing. But every now and again, it's like, okay, I don't have anything. My computer's not really busy doing anything, so I'll go in there, I'll click the button and have it check for updates because I don't want it to be doing any update crap the next time I turn it on, because if I turn the thing on, I need to be working with somebody. And so if you've actually gone into your system settings and clicked this check for update button, it is actually signing you up for beta unstable updates. You have now become the beta testers because Microsoft kicked off the QA team, which exactly makes perfect sense because when Microsoft pushed out this major Windows update, it got sent out to a lot of people. It just started deleting everyone's files. But if you were signed up to OneDrive and had your files in Microsoft's personal proprietary cloud, you could pull your files back down. I mean, come on. This forced update, which upgraded on people's computers without their consent, deleted their files. What's their solution? Oh, you know, the solution, just make sure you have regular backups. Yes, guys, make regular backups. You need to have on-site and off-site backups, and I do not recommend backing up anything to the cloud unless you encrypt it first. Encrypt it and send the encrypted mass file to the cloud. That is okay, but still, I keep a copy of it here, and I keep a copy of my data in a safety deposit box. If this whole place burns down, I have lost only 1 month's worth of data or less. All right, that is the way you want to do things. But regardless, they push this update out. By the way, after all this comes out, for 3 months, it has been reported by the actual beta testers who were aware they were beta testers that this thing was deleting files. For 3 months. They never resolved it. They just pushed it out. And people's updates just kind of happened. Of course, after that one came out, they sent out another patch which broke Microsoft Office. And then they sent out this one here. This was back in December 8th. Another patch messed up Outlook. What was the fix? Listen to this. The fix is just don't use Outlook for a while. Really? You're just going to tell people not to use their email client for 2 weeks? Yeah, guys, we live on email these days. I'm a developer. I work out of 3 offices that aren't in my state, and if my email's not working today, I got problems, you know? And this is just hilarious. Needless to say, Outlook 2010 users were not amused. To make matters worse, Microsoft advised users not to uninstall the patch, but rather to wait for the next patch. Bravo, Microsoft. Bravo. You're competent, sir. So, going back to this guy's concerns, forced updates and dubious private concerns aren't valid reasons. No, these are the 2 biggest reasons. Because I don't need my system to automatically update itself and delete all my files. I don't need to send every bit of information about me, how I use the computer, names and lists and files in my computer. I don't need to be sending all that stuff to Microsoft. They have no business collecting it. We are in a world where data hacks are occurring left, right, and center. It's best to minimize your digital footprint. And you cannot minimize your digital footprint with a Windows computer. So this is, of course, Switch to Linux. I recommend utilizing the Linux operating system. There's a variety of different operating systems, and frankly, you can come in and you can follow the videos here, and I'll teach you how to install Linux on your hardware. And guys, you can go out to the store and pick yourself up a little flash drive for about $20 and throw Linux on that so you can get used to it and you can start building a flow. I don't advise you to just delete your Windows 10 computer now and just jump cold turkey onto Linux. You want to ease into it. So here's some practical steps. I have videos about all these. Step number 1. Start looking at which types of software you need to use. Don't say, can I get X application to work on Linux? Say, what do I use X application for? So, for example, don't ask, how do I get Microsoft Office on Linux? Say, how do I do Office Suite on Linux? And the best answer is LibreOffice. So, of course, LibreOffice is, and there's several other offices as well. There's LibreOffice, OpenOffice, WPS. There are a lot of them. I personally use LibreOffice. It is completely full-featured, absolutely full-featured. I write my books on this application, so it does everything. It's completely free, and it is also cross-platform. So whether you're using a Windows or a Mac or anything else, then you can actually come over here and you can grab it. So it detects I'm on Linux, so it's offering me a Linux download file. So a deb, of course, it should offer me the deb file, not the RPM. Here's the Mac OS, and here is this would be a 32-bit Windows computer. I'm sorry, you can't see my drop-down menus, but I'm just pulling down this drop-down menu here. And Windows x86-64 is one of the options. So you can just go ahead and grab it. I think, are they down here too? Yep, they're down here as well. So here's your operating systems here. So you can actually come over here, you can download this, and what I'd recommend to do is find these types of applications, put them on your existing Windows computer, and learn how to use them. Because then when you have switched as many of your software packages possibly conceivable over, then you can now jump over to Linux and not miss a beat. So of course this guy here, it's going to behave just like your Word application. So for example, I'll go ahead and boot this guy up for you so you guys can see what it looks like. So this is the This is the application here for writing Word documents. Now, this does still follow the older toolbar. It is possible to put that modern ribbon toolbar on. I do not do that because I absolutely hate that thing, but you can actually go ahead and do that. So this will, you can even come up here. You can save as. You can save it as the open text formats. If you do need to save it in a Word document to send out to somebody, you can just go ahead and grab the docx file there. It will work just fine. So you can save it in any type of format that you want. You actually have added benefits that you can do things like print out labels without having to download all of the, you don't have to download all of the label templates and build them out. And I have entire tutorials about how to do this kind of stuff. Full databasing ability is all in there as well. So LibreOffice is an excellent application for doing that. So suppose you need something like, if you need something like Photoshop, GIMP is certainly one of the best image manipulation programs. So this is effectively a Photoshop replacement. Once again, you can download it for your existing system, Linux, Mac, and Windows. You can download it there. Also, if you need that, and there's some other ones, there's another one called Krita. And Krita is also very much like it. This is more geared towards illustrators, but it does have a lot of overlap with Photoshop functionality as well. If you need to use like drawing tablets, Krita is generally the best one. Once again, cross-platform, so you can download these directly on your existing computer without having to just jump everything over. And that's kind of what you can do. So ask yourself that for every application. Now, there's going to be some instances, like I said, that you might need to keep Windows around for. That's perfectly okay, but my recommendation is to make sure that all of your basic private stuff, your personal emails, your personal budget sheets, your personal letters, all that kind of stuff is on Linux, because Linux in general, few exceptions, but Linux in general does not engage in data collection. And so it's going to be a private system, a very stable system, and a very secure system. So that's my thoughts. No, I think that this Verge article is completely incorrect, that it is, Windows 10 is not more popular. Windows 10 has just been forced on everybody. That's just the reality of it, which is a sad reality, but a reality. As we're moving more and more towards this world, yes, the forced updates is a big deal. Yes, the data collection is a big deal, and that is the chief reason that I think you should switch over to Linux for as many operations as you can. So you can have a look at this channel, have a look at DistroTube, have a look at Total OS Today, Pizza Lovin' Nerd. A lot of other channels out there are doing some great videos about getting into and getting started with the Linux world. So thanks for coming along, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux. Thank you for making it to the end of this Switch to Linux video. You can have a look at another video right on over here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel or to Think Life Media, which is my own personal support page. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.